Hi guys, it's Jody. Today's video I am doing a collab with one of my fellow artists and friends here on YouTube, Garrick Brown from Garrick Brown Art Studio. If you don't know who he is, or if you haven't followed him, or if you haven't been subscribed to him, you need to. He is just a fantastic artist and just an all-around awesome person. He is so charismatic and electric. I just love him to death. So today's collab, we are doing a, I want to say super modified bloom, only because I do kind of embellished blooms already where I'm adding in swirls and things like that. But when I say modified bloom, I'm meaning something along the lines of Cindy Vanderveen or Sharmin over at Milky Way Art. If you don't know who they are, I highly recommend their channels. They do the most amazing modified blooms where, you know, you're kind of blowing out your bloom, but you're morphing it into something completely different. And I've never tried this before, and I thought, hey Garrick, let's give this a go. Let's see what happens. I'm a little nervous, but I want to do this. I've been meaning to, and I've been putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. I'm like, nope, we're doing it now. So so that's what we're going to be doing today. So let's go get started with this modified bloom. All right, for this modified bloom collab piece, I am using an 8x8 canvas, and I'm going to go through all the colors as I put them down. But the pillow we're going to be using today is my Glidden Premium in Satin. And I don't want to put too much on because we're not going to be doing a lot of spinning. I do want negative space. That's kind of the idea when you do one of these super modified blooms. I did spend some time watching, and I've always watched Cindy Vanderveen and Sharmin from Milky Way Art. They just do absolutely phenomenal modified blooms. If you're not familiar with, let me just put a little bit more right in the middle there. If you're not familiar with the modified bloom, what I do, you know, when you see me do my blooms, I'm kind of embellishing a little, but it's really still kind of a bloom as a whole. This is really taking it and morphing it into something else, and you'll see as we go along. But I'll probably end up putting a little bit of pillow paint when we're ready to spin this out. But for now, we've got this pillow paint, and I've got a bunch of colors. Some I've already had mixed up, and I think one I've mixed up already. But the first one I'm going to put down is the Golden Fluid Iridescent Bright Gold, and these are all mixed with the Valspar Ultra High Gloss and the Varathane Triple Thick. Everything that I'm using today will be at the beginning of this video in still images. You can take a snapshot, or in the description box down below if you miss you know, anything I'm saying while I'm putting everything down. And the idea is you're not using a lot of paint. And normally when I'm doing blooms or swipes, regular blooms or swipes, I'm putting down a lot of paint. And from what I've gathered, that's not the case here. So we're going to put about that much. Oops, I didn't show you the consistency. Here's the consistency of that one. And I've got another new This Little Piggy pigment that I've been testing. I don't have, they're not out yet. Again, I'll let you know once they do come out. This is going to be in the new release. This is called Macaw. It's an interference blue gold, blue yellow, blue gold. But I just have a little bit left. I've been playing around with it. I just kind of want to lay a little bit in here, like so. And then my next color is going to be the Atelier Interactive Red Gold. And this can be thick. This is the tube paint. I also have it in, I don't have it here with me, but they do make it in a fluid, which is a little bit easier to work with, especially if your pouring medium is on the thicker side, because this can get a little bit thick and a little bit gloopier. I'm just going to go with it because I'm only using just a little bit. I'm going to put some right here. And the other idea that I've noticed is you don't want to you want to kind of separate your colors or have them in different At least that's the way I feel like a lot of the modified blooms I've seen. There's different colors everywhere. They're not on top of each other or drizzled everywhere. All right, the next color I want to put down is, this is the Praj Potsy, the 2021 Beach Retreat Shimmer. And there's the consistency of that one. I'm going to put this right here. That should be good. And I've got a Color Art Bling It called, what is this called? Oh my gosh, I can't pronounce it. Chalcedony. I think it's Chalcedony. You'll see it in the images, but that's what the name is. I might be pronouncing it wrong, but it's a nice purple color. And there's what that one looks like. We're gonna put that right there. Just a little bit. And then I've got, forever using up the Utrecht fluid acrylic, the red violet. I've explained about that in my prior videos. It is being discontinued, I think, but you can, the Amsterdam red violet is very close, and so is the golden fluid quinacridone violet. And then finally, I'm going to put down, I'm going to drizzle it all around. I'm going to put this is the Praj Potsy Lemon Lime Shimmer. It's a nice electric, kind of a yellow green. I kind of want to get this kind of going around, just like so. That way when we blow it out, we'll get different pops of color everywhere. I brought you down for the blowout. I'm going to bring you back up when we modify it. I'm using just a black cell activator. There's the consistency. This is Australian Floetrol with the Amsterdam Oxide Black. Oops, sorry about that. It's mixed at 4:1. I'm just going to put, I don't want too much. Just put just a little bit more. And I'm kind of going to blow out in petals like I normally do. Normally, if this was a regular bloom that I was doing, I would probably blow this out some more and that out just to get more cells. But since we're going to be doing a lot of manipulation, I'm not worried about it. As long as I have all the colors represented. And I'm going to try to talk as I go, but I'm also trying to think of what exactly I'm going to modify. The modification is going to take the most time out of this whole video. So I may have to speed some parts up just to let you know, just in case. My last practice one I did, it took me about 30 minutes because I kept going back and putting more in. And I'm just using the normal skewer. I'm going to probably use both ends of it though for different reasons. And there is no wrong way to do it. Sometimes I'm just winging it. Honestly. With this one, I'm trying to kind of meet it all in the same spot. I know I'm being quiet as I'm doing this. Oh, I just messed that up a little bit. But what I'm really looking at is just the different negative space and, you know, what cells I might want to keep. I haven't touched this one because I don't know what to do with it. I love all the cells. Don't even want to touch it, but I have to. I might bring the color in a little. Like so. always liked putting spikes in. Even the blooms I do. So it's kind of like my little trademark there. You can get as detailed as you want, or you know, you could have stopped halfway through where I went. I'm just playing and having fun here. I mean, again, there is no wrong way. I'm completely winging it. But I am also thinking about, you know, because it is going to open up just a little. You know, some areas where it may look a little weird or off, you might want to embellish those. All right, I think I'm going to stop there. I'm going to put just a little bit of pillow on the corners, and then we're going to take it over to the spinner box, and I'm just going to kind of spin it a couple times. There's not a lot of paint, so I'm not going to need to take a bunch off, but I will meet you over at the spinner box. All right, here's what it looks like before we start spinning it out a little. And I'm not going to spin too much. I just want to expand it a little. There isn't a lot of paint on here once it's been spread out. Oof. Gosh, that's gorgeous. Not really moving on it either. I did put pillow. I'm just going to do one more little baby spin, and I think we're there. I like how all of that's kind of going off, but you're still seeing everything. Yeah, and it's not really moving, just a little bit, which is okay. In my practice ones, it was moving just ever so slightly in the middle, and they all dried just fine. So, but I really wanted to expand the detail a little bit more with it. I did add pillow paint to the sides just so everything would get coverage, but that's it for spinning. Like it, kind of like that orientation. All right, here's what that looks like. I'm gonna get cleaned up, and I will bring you over for the flyover of this guy. All right, here is the flyover. I did add a few more embellishments in. That little swirl right there, I just felt like it was an empty space. But I mean, really, you can do anything you want with this. I mean, you can make it more elaborate, less elaborate, more colors. There's no wrong way to do this, and it's really a lot of fun once you start doing it. I was afraid to try it. I really was, because I was like, I don't know what I can come up with. But seriously, it is so much fun, and I cannot wait to see how this dried and show you the dried results. So I will be back once it's dried to show you the results. And I'm back to show you the modified bloom that we just did together. And before I show you the results, I wanted to say, as I was editing that portion of the video, I realized it's extra long. I had to speed it up. So you got both of me talking. When I had something to say, I would slow it down so you can hear me. And then I kind of added music behind it so it just wouldn't be my air purifier that you usually hear in the background. So it was kind of a mix with this video. I didn't want to bore you with all, and I cut out some areas where I was literally just staring at the piece like, okay, what's my next move? So having said that, let's get to the dried piece. And it just dried beautifully. I do have a couple things that I want to point out to you, but other than that, I mean, it dried exactly how you saw it wet. I mean, it's nice and smooth, and it's got a nice shimmer to it. There it is as a whole, but as I bring it in, I don't know if the camera's going to pick up, but over here on this corner and over here especially, you can kind of see, well, there was a couple bubbles that I had popped while it was slightly drying, so I think I got little bumps in there. But you know, when I in the beginning, when I first put the pillow paint, you know, I kind of wiped it with the little spatula. And I think the next time I'm going to take it all the way to the edge, because if you can see, there's like just a faint line from, you know, as the paint is sitting there, it's going to start to dry. And this, you know, this modification took probably about 30 minutes. So there wasn't anything on these two sides. I think that was dumped off more, but this kind of left more of negative space. So that's something that I learned. And the other thing is this pigment, I got a little bit grainy over here, and I don't know if it's because you know, not enough paint. Sometimes things can, you know, flocculate or get a little bit grainy if the paint is being stretched too thin, or it could just be the pigment, or you know, it could be a number of things. It didn't sit long enough. Sometimes certain pigments, when you mix them, they don't mix in as well. They kind of need to sit there a while, or you just need to keep mixing them. But yeah, I did get a little graininess, but it doesn't take away from it at all. I mean, just the detail in here, and a lot of the little tiny spikes that you saw me do, like, why is she doing that? They got magnified as like these here too. I love these right here. As you spin it out just a little, it kind of just brings it out just a little bit more, everything in there. So it just, and I did add in that little swirl kind of afterward. I needed something else there, I felt. But overall, I think I did okay. I'm still pretty much a beginner with these super modified blooms, but I am definitely going to give this a go again. I want to do it maybe even on a 10 by 10. Go bigger. I feel like this is something you can do a little bit bigger. So I really had a lot of fun with this piece, and I want you to go and check out Garrick Brown. His piece, what he's doing, I'm gonna go check it out right now. I'm super excited to see what he comes up with. I'm gonna put a link to his video in the description box below, so head on over there and let me know what you thought of this video in the comments below. I'd love to hear if you've attempted a modified bloom, what you thought of this one, all that good stuff. So until next time, thanks so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.